G'day folks, today in this video we're going to be taking a look at the waterproof case for the DJI Osmo Pocket. DJI just released this a few days ago on their website, so we're just going to open it up, we're going to see how it works, so let's just jump right in. So DJI just released a couple new accessories for the Osmo Pocket. This casing comes in at $49, and I really don't think that is too bad, considering a lot of waterproof casings can get quite expensive. Even if you look at the ones for the 360 cameras, they are ridiculously priced. $49, especially for DJI, I don't think is too bad. So let's see what we all have here in the box. So we have the case itself. You can see here. Let you take a good look at it. You can see here we have two mounts, two finger mounts that can hook up to GoPro accessories. So if you do want to add a floating handle maybe to it, or an extension pole, you're able to do so. We have a couple buttons on the side here. We do have a transparent screen there so we can see what's on the Osmo Pocket screen. And then this ring twists off. And that's how we put our Osmo Pocket inside. So we'll take a look at that in a minute. We'll just set that aside. We do have some anti-fog inserts. You can see here we have two. It does state that you need to put the anti-fog inserts inside so the lens doesn't fog up when you're underwater, and that's right across the board for all waterproof housing. If you want a dive housing for the GoPro, you know you have to put these anti-fog inserts in, otherwise within minutes you can't really see anything through the lens. So that's pretty standard, but I haven't seen any replacements on the DJI website, but if this thing requires them, I'm assuming we'll see an option to purchase more of them down the road. And of course we have our little user manual. It shows us how to install it. Gives us some basic information. I should also mention, before you go ahead and install your Osmo Pocket, make sure you update the firmware. There was new firmware released for the Mimo app and for the Osmo Pocket, bringing a new mode, an underwater mode. So you have to put it in the underwater mode before you use it. So we're going to power on the Osmo Pocket here, and to get to the underwater mode, we're going to swipe down. We're going to swipe all the way to the very last icon there. You can see it has kind of a graphic of the underwater casing, and you can see that it's empty. So if we tap on it, now it's going to tell us there that we have to power off the Osmo Pocket before we put it into the casing. It gives us the option to power it off now, or we can do it later. I'm going to hit later. I just wanted to show you, so now that we have the underwater mode enabled, you can see the graphic has changed to show that there's now an Osmo Pocket inside. So let's go ahead and we'll power it off. So installation is pretty straightforward. We're just going to remove the top cover here, and we're going to pull out this plastic tab. Now before we insert the Osmo Pocket, we got to remove our smartphone connector. I find it's the easiest at this stage to insert your anti-fog insert. You just kind of lay it in there like that. So just like that, you can see it's inserted, our screen is lined up, and our buttons will be lined up as well. Now at this point, we'll just put that tab back in to hold it securely in place. Just press it in until you hear it click, and then we'll just reattach the cover. And just like that. On the top here we have two buttons. We have our record button, that's also how we take photos. Then on the right hand side we have a power button, and that's also how we switch modes. So we'll press it to power it on. Now because we put it into the underwater mode before we powered it off, it should just power on into the underwater mode. And you know it's in the underwater mode when it has that little icon on the screen. As you can see there right beside the battery indicator on the top right hand side, it has that little icon signifying we're in underwater mode. So we can stop and start recording just by using the button on the left hand side, and again take photos if we're in photo mode. So to switch between photo and video mode while you're underwater, you would just press the right button there, and you can see it'll switch back and forth. And to power it off, we would just long press the button on the right hand side. So pretty basic operation. There's not a lot of settings we can change when it's inserted into the casing. So it's very important to set all your settings the way you want them before you insert it into the waterproof casing, your resolution and different things like that. The casing is actually very comfortable to hold. I was a little apprehensive when I first seen it introduced back in January, where they had some videos of it, and it just kind of looked a little bit awkward, but it's actually very comfortable to hold, and I can see it being a little more convenient than I thought it was going to be. I thought this would actually be very cumbersome to use, but just a little bit of playing I've been doing with it now, it actually feels like it would be quite easy to use, and not as awkward as I first thought it might be. And I'm just noticing here on this bottom finger mount, there's two little extra holes there, and that's where you would attach something like a wrist strap. Very important if you're underwater with this filming to use a wrist strap, and that way if you accidentally drop it, it's not going to sink to the bottom. Now I'm just kind of editing this in as an afterthought. I just recently discovered, after kind of doing most of the recording, that this thing actually floats without any kind of additional handles or floating devices. You can see there that it just stays at the surface. There's quite a big air pocket in the top of that unit, and it keeps it afloat. Now with that said, if you have an extension handle on it, it could add some extra weight and drag it down. So I guess the next thing we should do is some footage. Now I live in Canada, so we have tons of lakes and tons of rivers and all kinds of things around here, but it's not like the tropics where the water is crystal clear and you can get some nice underwater video. So the next best thing I can do right now is maybe take it in our backyard. Our daughter has a little kiddie pool set up, so we'll just take some underwater footage in it and see how it works. So there you go. Now that wasn't the best footage. The water was actually a little bit cloudy, so it wasn't very clear, but it kind of gave you a general feel of how it works. Now at the end of the day, if you're a person who's going to be doing a lot of water activity and you want to do a lot of recording, you're best to maybe stick with something like the Osmo Action or even a GoPro Hero 7 Black. They're waterproof without any casing, and it's just a lot less hassle. But if you own the Osmo Pocket and you're just going to be in the water here and there, not a lot, yeah, definitely something like this definitely comes in handy. These kind of casings also add a little bit of extra protection, even if you're in a dusty, sandy environment like at a beach. Mud, if you're doing some filming and you know you're going to be getting a lot of mud and different things on your device. Units like this work well for that as well. Well folks, that's it for my video. That is the waterproof case for the DJI Osmo Pocket. Let me know what you think of it down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the like button if you found this video had value. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.